This is MMA Oddsmaker.
Time to get rolling on today's Oddsbreaker segment, introducing both of our guests. First, he's the lead writer for MMAweekly.com and also the host of MMA Weekly Radio, Damon Martin. Damon, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on as always.
And also joining us today is an MMA columnist for ESPN.com and can also be seen on ESPN's MMA Live, Brett Okamoto. Brett, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Nick. Thanks.
Now, both of you guys have been on the show before, so you guys are very familiar with how it works. But for those new out there that do not know how the show works, BetDSI, our sponsored sportsbook, has donated a $5K bankroll to both guys. They're going to get to pick between 4 fights I've selected today and wager $500 either on the favorite or the underdog. We're going to get started first with UFC 153, which takes place in Brazil, coming up here on October 13th, 2012. Erick Silva versus Jon Fitch, a huge battle at welterweight. And we're going to get started first with Damon. Damon, it's going to be a competitive fight, a lot of hype coming in behind Erick Silva, and of course all of us know that Jon Fitch has been one of the most dominant welterweights in the division for a long time now. I'm going to open up Fitch as a slight favorite, minus 155. The comeback on Silva is going to be plus 125. Give me your take and give me your bet.
I'm definitely going to go with Erick Silva in this fight. I mean, we saw in his last fight, he took on a very strong wrestler in Charlie Brenneman. Charlie's a very, very aggressive wrestler, and he struggled to get Silva down, struggled to put Silva in any kind of trouble. And, you know, that's Fitch's game. Fitch's game is to get a guy on his back and kind of punish them from there. I just have a hard time believing that he's going to be able to do that against a very strong, very agile welterweight like Erick Silva. And also the layoff for Jon Fitch, having been out as long as he has, after the loss to Johnny Hendricks last year. I just like Erick Silva. I think he's a star on the rise, and I just like this matchup. I think he's going to be able to stop Fitch's takedowns, and I think eventually he's going to land the knockout.
Okay, so Damon Martin is going to take the plus money, the dog money here. Erick Silva plus 125. It's going to be $500 to win 625. Let's throw it over to Brett. Brett, do you agree with Damon? Is it Erick Silva as a dog?
Yeah, I agree with Damon. If I was allowed to on the show, I'd take all my free 2,000 and put it on Erick Silva, not because I'm completely discounting what Jon Fitch can do. Obviously, we've seen this guy perform at a high level for years, but I just don't think you're going to get to see plus money on Erick Silva for much longer in his career. I do think that he is a star on the rise. I believe in his hype. I think he's very athletic. Even if Jon Fitch is able to get him to the ground, I think that he can threaten with submissions, and he can get sweeps. He can get back into a position where he likes to be. The intangibles are on his side here. He gets to fight in his hometown, in front of his home crowd in Brazil. He's got a lot of confidence riding on him right now because he's looked so good over the last few years. So I'm all over Erick Silva on this, especially with these odds.
Okay, so Brett Okamoto also agrees it's Erick Silva as a dog play plus 125. So when he does hit the sports books, it's probably going to be a little bit lower. But both of our experts do agree Erick Silva over Jon Fitch at UFC 153.
Well, that's it for another episode of MMA Oddsbreakers. I want to thank our two special guests, Damon Martin and Brett Okamoto, for joining us. Great information as always, guys. Thanks a ton. And don't forget to start looking for the lines that Nick broke right here on the show to start popping up at the sport books throughout the coming week.
And also, you can check out our website, MMAOddsbreaker.com, or follow us on Twitter at MMA Oddsbreaker. For Miguel Literati, I'm Nick Kalikas saying until next time, enjoy the fights.